Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to this new platform or this new series that I'm going to be starting. It's, in a sense, going to be called MotoNerd or Nerd Vlog. I really haven't figured out the details in it, but in a sense, is we're going to be going for a ride today. We're going to be riding around, and I'm just going to be simply talking about um, nerd stuff or the latest nerd things that I think interesting, or just simply things that you guys want me to talk about. But once again, sorry about my voice. I'm still a little bit under the weather, still having some of that side effects of getting over my illness. One of them being congestion, which totally sucks. But today, on this little journey that we're going to be doing today, we're going to be simply talking about the new news with Venom 2. Now, Venom 2 everybody's been talking about it for a while, actually, ever since the end of Venom 1, due to the fact that the way Venom 1 ended. But the real big news was that the director from Venom 1, don't really remember his name at this particular point, did not want to direct Venom 2. And that is, in my particular opinion, a blessing, because Venom 1 directing style was really, really bad. Even though they made $850 million from that in the box office, I still found that the directing was a little lackluster. I think the characters could have been fleshed out a little bit more. I think the action could have been done a little bit better. Just all around, I just thought the movie could be better in a sense. But just a couple of days ago, it seems that they actually finally got a director for Venom 2. And this director is very well known in the MCU, or at least in one particular movie, but he's a very good actor slash director. You probably know him. His name is Andy Serkis, I think that's what it's pronounced. You've probably seen him in Planet of the Apes, Rise of Planet of the Apes. Actually, you probably didn't even know he was in Planet of the Apes. If I'm correct, he's actually one of the apes. I don't really remember exactly which one off the top of my head right now. But his real big thing that he's known for is Claw in Black Panther. Now, if you don't know who Claw is, or if you've never seen Black Panther, it's possibly one of the biggest grossing movies of all time. One of the biggest grossing movies of the MCU. Actually, it's probably the second biggest grossing movie of the MCU outside of not Infinity War. Endgame was the biggest grossing movie. But if you don't know who Claw is the guy who ends up dying, the white gentleman who has the prosthetic arm that can shoot out laser beams. He's a very, very good actor. He's played in a lot of movies, and if I'm correct, he directed a lot of movies as well. The main reason why I'm bringing this up to light is because this is, in my opinion, one of the better options when it comes to having a director, because he was a part of one of the biggest MCU movies, one of the biggest movies of all time, which is Black Panther. And on top of that, that movie was decent. Directing style, that movie was good. If anybody says anything otherwise, the numbers speak for themselves. But in a sense is that due to the fact that he sorry about that. Like I said, still a little bit sick. But due to the fact that he was a part of that particular movie, there's a possible chance that he learned something from the director of that, or just learned something about how he should approach a comic book style movie, because there's a lot of lore in it. With Black Panther, there's a lot of lore with Black Panther, and I think they did it pretty well. It seems like he read the comic books and each character was fleshed out, pretty well. It was a lengthy movie, but the characters were fleshed out. It wasn't clumped up together. It wasn't no Batman versus Superman, just trash. It was a very well done movie, and I hope that Andy could actually take some ideas from that, or just take something from that particular movie and bring it to Venom 2, because in itself, Venom is a movie that I've been wanting for a very, very long time. Ever since they started the Spider-Man series, I've always wanted a Venom movie, and not no Venom crap movie that they made in like 2005 or 7. That was really, really bad. But I wanted a Venom and Carnage movie because those two are my favorite, and I do mean favorite, iconic characters in the Spider-Man universe. And yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I really am. Also, too, they're bringing back Tom Hardy as Venom, or Eddie Brock, if you know his character, which is really good. He's actually signed for 2 more movies. Previously, he was signed for a 3-movie contract, so this movie will be a trilogy, hopefully. That is, if it doesn't tank in the future. And then also, too, who's coming back is Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage. If you don't know who Woody Harrelson is, or if you've never seen or know anything about the storyline of Cletus Cassidy, yeah, sit down, because this dude is a massive train wreck. When I say massive train wreck, this dude is bananas. So in a sense, is the backstory for Cletus is that he was pretty much a psychopath in a sense. He tried to kill he did kill his grandparents, his grandmother. He pushed her down the stairs, she broke her neck pretty much, and then he tried to kill his mom, but didn't succeed. But she ended up dying anyway because I think his father beat her to death over a court case or something. She wouldn't testify or something like that. And then he killed a girl, pushed her in front of a bus when he was in an orphanage. Pushed her in front of a bus because she turned him away. And, you know, he was like, hey, I like you, and so forth and so forth. And she said no, so he was like, fuck your shit, and just pushed her in front of a bus, which is gangster as all hell. And then on top of that, he burned down the orphanage that he was in. Yeah, like I said, this dude is ridiculous. And then on top of that, once he turned to teenagers, when it all just started to snowball effect. I mean, this is a really big snowball, but I'm talking about, like Godzilla-sized snowball, where he just perfected his skills of murdering, and then ended up murdering 11 people, which got him put in jail and prison. And that's, in a sense, is that how he met Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock was in prison was Venom at the particular time, and this is in the comic books. He was fighting Spider-Man, and then ends up going into breaking out from the symbiote, and then ends up going to jail. And guess who was his cellmate? Cletus Cassidy. They became friends, and then when Venom, which is the symbiote, broke out Eddie Brock from jail, Venom left a child symbiote behind, and that child symbiote decided to bond with Cletus Cassidy, aka making Carnage. And that's pretty much the backstory of it, the comic book wise. Like I said, they do it in the movie. I don't really know, because you would have to have Spider-Man in that particular universe, and then on top of that, you would have to factor in a bunch of other things, as in, he went to jail and so forth and so forth. But by the way that they set it up, at least at the end, quote unquote, spoiler alert, at the end of Venom, Eddie Brock is trying to do a story on Cletus Cassidy. So I'm guessing Eddie Brock does not know anything about Cletus Cassidy, and during this particular interview, I'm guessing Venom is going to leave a symbiote behind, or if there already is a symbiote of Carnage, it's going to find Cletus Cassidy and bond with him. Now, the reason why I sort of bring up this backstory and bring up everything about it is because if Andy decides to do this, pay this movie homage to the storyline, you're going to need some help. And what I mean by that is Venom is going to need some help, because Venom is nowhere near as powerful as Carnage. So, in a sense, is with the symbiotes is your offspring will always be stronger than the previous generation. So anytime the kid is always stronger than the father. And Carnage is the son of Venom. So, with that note, Carnage is more powerful than Venom. And even in the comic books, he needs help. Venom needs help to beat Carnage. And Venom teams up with Spider-Man. So the thing is that who is going to be the help of Venom beating up Carnage or destroying Carnage? Who's going to be that individual? Are they going to bring in a new Spider-Man? Possibly Spider-Man 2099, or I'm showing my age there. That is some 90s reference when they decided to make 2099 of everything. X-Men, Iron Man, Venom with like 8 heads. Don't even get me started down that aisle. But who are they going to bring in to help defeat Carnage in itself? Are they going to bring in another symbiote? Are they going to bring in the trifecta symbiote? I don't know their particular names at this particular point, but they're 3 symbiotes that attach to one particular individual, and they're pretty much good symbiotes. But like I said, I don't know who they're going to bring in for this. And for this to work properly, they're going to need to bring somebody in, because they'll be breaking lore if they don't. And I'm not just talking about just, Spider-Man universe and this and that, they're breaking lore. It's not, no, I mean, they're going to be breaking the symbiote lore, as in the father is nowhere near as powerful as the son. But on top of that too, the question arises, is this going to be a rated R movie? Because you can't do a Carnage movie without it being rated R. You have to. That's like having a Deadpool movie that's PG-13. It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work at all. But I hope that everything works out. Like I said, this movie I am looking forward to. I hope that it really does, because I've been waiting for this movie and asking for this movie for so long, and I just hope that they do homage to it. I hope that it's a really, really great movie. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking. If you have any comments, concerns, or anything like that, just want to drop a line, please say something. Any criticism is good to me, because I'm still trying to figure this GoPro thing out, figure out what the best settings are and whatnot. But definitely drop a line. Tell me how you like it. If you don't like it, tell me that too. Like I said, any criticism is good to me. But until next time, guys, deuces.